I want you to imagine this for a second. You're sitting on your couch, half scrolling on your phone, half watching TV, when suddenly something happens that makes you look up and say out loud, "Wait, what?" Not because it's loud, not because it's flashy, but because your brain genuinely cannot explain what your eyes are seeing. Cards appear where they shouldn't. Objects move without hands. Time itself seems to hesitate. And for a brief moment, you feel like reality just blinked. That's exactly what happened the night Eric Chien walked onto the stage of America's Got Talent, and that's why people are still saying, years later, this magic is actually unreal. But before we go any further, let me pause right here, because I need to talk to you directly for a second. I've been reading through your comments on the last few videos, and I see some of you calling out the drama. Some of you saying, "Come on, this is TV. It's edited. It's staged. It's probably camera tricks." And honestly, I get it. I really do. In a world full of scripted reality shows, fake beefs, and AI-generated everything, it's hard to trust anything anymore. I felt the same way the first time I saw Eric Chien's performance. I remember thinking, there's no way this is real. There has to be something they're not showing us. But then I slowed it down. I rewatched the footage. I watched audience reactions, raw clips, side angles, uncut moments. And what I found didn't make me excited. It actually messed with me a little. Because once you strip away the skepticism, once you really look, you realize this wasn't just a trick. This was someone quietly breaking the rules of what we think is possible. And that's where this story really begins. Eric Chien didn't walk onto that stage like someone hungry for fame. There was no big ego. No over-the-top confidence. If anything, he looked almost shy, like someone who would rather let his hands do the talking. And that's important, because Eric didn't grow up chasing the spotlight. He grew up chasing understanding. Born in Taiwan, he was the kind of kid who noticed details other people ignored. How long a second really feels. How your eyes can be fooled. How expectation is sometimes stronger than truth. Magic, for him, wasn't about fooling people. It was about exploring perception. And here's the part a lot of fans don't know. Before the world knew his name, Eric spent years being overlooked. Magic competitions where he didn't win. Crowds that didn't react the way he hoped. Judges who appreciated his skill but didn't quite get it. In a world that loves loud illusions and explosions, his style was quiet. Surgical. Almost poetic. And that kind of magic doesn't always go viral, until it does. So when he finally stepped onto the AGT stage, the pressure wasn't just about impressing judges. It was about proving that subtlety could still stop a room cold. The performance starts simple. Cards, coins, objects you think you understand. And that's what makes what happens next so unsettling. Because nothing flashy announces itself. There's no countdown, no smoke. Things just change. A card is here, then it isn't. A shape exists, then it melts into something else. And the audience doesn't scream right away. They go quiet. That kind of quiet where people lean forward because their brain is trying to catch up. And I know what you're thinking. Okay, but TV magic is always edited. That's exactly what people on Twitter, now X, were saying within minutes of the episode airing. One post went viral saying, "Nice tricks, but show me the raw footage." Another said, "This is just camera angles and cuts. Real magic doesn't exist." TikTok exploded with slowed down clips, people circling frames, trying to find the moment where the trick happened. Reddit threads popped up arguing back and forth, some people convinced it was fake, others saying, "I've watched this 20 times and I still can't see it." And here's where the first layer of the reveal begins. Because unlike many TV magic acts, Eric's performance didn't rely on cuts. Audience members were seated on multiple sides. Judges were inches away, and when magicians and illusion experts started weighing in, the tone changed. One comment that kept getting shared said, "I don't even like close-up magic, but this is clean. Too clean." Another said, "If there's a method here, it's something new." And that's terrifying. But that wasn't the part that broke the internet. The second layer came when people started digging into Eric's past performances. International competitions, world championships, Clips from years earlier where he was already doing things that made seasoned magicians uncomfortable. Not because they were flashy, but because they challenged assumptions. He wasn't just hiding objects. He was controlling attention on a microscopic level. And suddenly, the narrative shifted from, is this fake? To, how is one human capable of this level of control? And right here, let me ask you something. Have you ever watched something so precise that it made you feel small? Like, wow, my brain doesn't even work on that level. That's what people were feeling. And if you're into moments like that, moments that make you question reality just a little, this is probably the point where you want to stick around. And yeah, I'll say it naturally, if stories like this hit you the way they hit me, subscribing and turning on notifications means you won't miss the next one. Especially because this story only gets stranger from here. The third layer is where things got emotional. After the episode aired, Eric didn't go on a victory lap. No flashy interviews, no trash talk. Instead, he posted a quiet message thanking viewers and the judges, saying he hoped people felt something special watching his magic. And fans noticed something in his words. Gratitude, relief, almost like this wasn't about winning, but about finally being understood. Then came the backlash. Some critics doubled down, saying the judges were overreacting, that the show hyped it up too much. One viral comment said, "You'll act like this man bent reality. It's just sleight of hand." And the replies were brutal. If it's just sleight of hand, show us you doing it. I've been a magician for 15 years and I don't even know where to start. The comment sections turned into war zones, with fans defending him like he was family. And here's the fourth layer, the one most people miss. Eric's magic wasn't just about fooling you. It was about trust. He wasn't yelling, "Look over here." He was asking you to look, and then gently showing you how fragile looking really is. That's why people reacted so strongly. Because deep down, we don't like being reminded that our perception isn't perfect. His performance didn't insult the audience. It exposed something human. But the final layer, this is the part that truly stays with you. Long after the episode, long after the debates cooled down, people kept coming back to one question. Not, how did he do it? But, why did it feel different? And the answer is simple and unsettling. Eric Chien didn't just perform magic. He created a moment where thousands of people, watching from different places, felt the same confusion, the same wonder, at the same time. In a world where we argue about everything, that's rare. No scandal, no fake drama, no shocking twist involving contracts or judges. The real shock was realizing that something pure, quiet, and deeply human could still stop the internet in its tracks. So I want to leave you with this. When was the last time something made you question what you thought you understood? Do you think magic like this still has a place in a world obsessed with noise? Or do moments like Eric Chien's performance remind us why we fell in love with live talent in the first place? Let me know what you felt watching it. Were you skeptical? Were you amazed? Or were you, like me, just left sitting there thinking, yeah, this magic is actually unreal?